Mark, good afternoon. Thank you. And so, in its own grand manner, Wembley embraces the entirely familiar. Chelsea, Liverpool again. One of the rich, recurrent rivalries of the 21st century. There are people so at home in this special place, so utterly au fait with this occasion, and indeed so nervously aware each of the other. Red and blue, north and south, Albert Bridge and Albert Dock. So much separates them, and yet so frequently their modern histories collide. And here they are, face to face in yet another standalone them or us duel. The 64th Football League Cup Final. The presentation party is led by the EFL chair, Rick Parry, who was, of course, chief executive of Liverpool for nearly a decade until 2009. He's joined by executives of the competition sponsors Carabao, including the CEO Khun Setien Tam. Liverpool, led of course by Virgil van Dijk, extend their own record by appearing in a 14th League Cup final, and they seek to be the first club to win it for a 10th time. Kelleher, Van Dijk, Robertson, Diaz survived from the starting 11 of 2022. And so, of course, from the bench does Jurgen Klopp. Of the 6 major trophies he has delivered for Liverpool, 3 have been directly at Chelsea's expense, and a 4th in the face of Mauricio Pochettino. Chelsea skippered in the ongoing absence of Reece James by Ben Chilwell, appearing in their 10th final, having begun this campaign a round earlier than Liverpool in the last week of August. Their lineup for Pochettino includes not one of those who faced Liverpool at this self-same occasion just 2 years ago. The national anthem. The national anthem sung by Harry Lineker, with signing by Dave Shields.
And we start with Chelsea. In goal, number 28, Jurgen Klopp.
Well, these are formal greetings that seem almost superfluous. Chelsea and Liverpool began the Premier League season in each other's company. They were together at Anfield less than a month ago. Further back via the countless Champions League epics of yesteryear, 2 FA Cup finals, now 3 League Cup finals, and much else besides. This is the most played and perhaps the most storied professional fixture since the turn of the millennium. Well, given the stormy nature of Chelsea's season, it is a joy for Mauricio Pochettino to select from a calm oasis of pleasing form. He may have had a goalkeeping dilemma, but Georgi Petrovic retains the gloves despite the return to fitness of Robert Sanchez. Only Axel Disasi has started every game of the Chelsea run. His partner Levi Colwill turns 21 tomorrow. They play because Thiago Silva doesn't make it. £200 million to pair. Chelsea's priciest stars underpin their midfield. Enzo Fernandez hit the second round winner against Wimbledon back in August. Ahead of them, 3 Englishmen, of whom Raheem Sterling, he of the Wembley upbringing and the Liverpool past, is a serial League Cup winner. And regardless of Christopher Nkunku's availability, Nicholas Jackson begins up front. So it is the same 11 which performed so well against the champions last weekend. Cesare Casadei is cup-tied. He played against Liverpool for Leicester in round 3. No Thiago Silva at all. 2 teenagers and 2 goalkeepers on the bench. No question, Jurgen Klopp's pursuit of this trophy, and indeed perhaps 3 others, is being complicated by a nasty casualty list. Caoimhin Kelleher was carded for this game even before Alisson's injury. Of course, he scored the winning penalty 2 years ago. Since the midweek game, the 2 changes are in defence. Ibrahima Konate and Andy Robertson return. It's Robertson's first League Cup tie of the season. And the front 6 is essentially what remains. McAllister, Endo, Gravenberch, all cup finalists in their first Liverpool year. And a front 3 with Cody Gakpo, who has scored in every round up to now, Harvey Elliott, who has started every game, and Luis Diaz, who's already scored home and away against Chelsea in the Premier League. So on top of all the others, no Salah, no Szoboszlai, no Nunez. 3 of the subs weren't even born when Chelsea beat Liverpool in the 2005 final. 2 of those, Nioni and Kumas, would be debutants if they played. Jurgen Klopp to ensure that whatever else might or might not follow, his farewell Liverpool season is decorated, and Mauricio Pochettino to deliver for Chelsea a first domestic trophy for 6 years. The Rhapsody in Blue in thrilling discord with the Red Mersey beat. It is the ear-splitting, heart-pumping disharmony of a grand Wembley event. They're at it again, blues and reds, for the first prize of springtime, for the fresh green shoot of a new Chelsea blossoming, or for the final flowering of Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp. What are you feeling, Gary?
Big day. Atmosphere is absolutely incredible. Liverpool weakened and depleted with injuries, in Chelsea, well, will they ever have a better chance?
Cara?
Yeah, I think the big advantage of Chelsea is not just the team sheets, but in terms of having that full week. Pochettino's a top coach, and the work he'll have done through the week tactically, setting this team up to play against Liverpool, because they've somehow got to believe they can win this game, Chelsea, on the back of what happened just over 3 weeks ago when they were heavily beaten at Liverpool. So it's not just what's happened on the training pitch for Mauricio Pochettino and his team, it's what he's spoken to them psychologically about believing that they can win this game.
I guess it is a big part of the narrative of this final, the extent to which the dynamic has changed since that Anfield night, the last day of last month, at which point you wouldn't logically have given Chelsea a prayer. Konate back at centre-half. He wasn't required against Luton midweek. Cole Palmer, who has been to such a great extent Chelsea's point of difference this year. Robertson back in at left-back. Poor Joe Gomez, who's done so little wrong, is the unlucky individual to miss out. Gravenberch, Endo.
Yeah, when you talk about people missing out, I think the interesting one for Liverpool was the team almost picks itself, but the manager definitely had a decision to make at left back with Andy Robertson back, but Joe Gomez being in great form in that position as well.
And of course Caoimhin Kelleher, the hero of 2 years ago, in a manner which he can't really have anticipated. Caicedo in that expensive Chelsea midfield. This would be their £1 billion trophy. Dizazi, who was monstrously good against the champions last weekend. So was Gusto, from whom the first misstep. And what a Liverpool team you could pick from those who are not available today. You know the list, it barely needs repeating. But without those, they were very, very good midweek. And Van Dijk is always there.
The one area of Liverpool's team that isn't depleted is at centre-back with Van Dijk and Konate, and they play a huge part for the team in red today. If they can stand strong, Liverpool still stand a big chance.
Chelsea might have had an issue in goal. Petrovic, though, has everybody's trust after a very good first-team run in the absence of Sanchez, who returns to the bench today. Selected in place of Sanchez, who sustained his knee injury at Everton in the middle of December. Missed the quarter-final, both semi-finals, 9 games in the Premier League. And now has to battle for his place back. Disasi. Endo. Disasi again. Fernandez with Gakpo tight.
Yeah, we're into the 5th minute and both teams start a little bit nervously. I haven't really seen too many passes put together. You know, that's another occasion.
Colwill strolled out. Bradley was looking to penetrate. The whistle went. McAllister's writhing.
Yeah, I mentioned Liverpool centre-backs, but it was always going to be important for Chelsea's 2 centre-backs to settle down quickly, and Colwill, he does well initially, but he's making the game a little bit more difficult than he needs to in the first 5 minutes by dribbling out like that.
Levi Colwill's start at Manchester City last weekend was actually his first start since the second leg of the semi-final against Middlesbrough. He turns 21 tomorrow. And if they win here, he should get the day off for it. Robertson, McAllister.
Yeah, just where Van Dijk and Konate are at the back against Gusto and Gallagher. I'm a bit worried about that.
In by McAllister. Going back determinedly by the Argentine. Jackson couldn't escape. Endo's gone flying and Liverpool have another free kick.
Yeah, it's Caicedo.
I mean, he has a tendency to go flying in. You see that again. I mean, he was lucky at Manchester City last week that he stayed on the pitch, but as I said before, both teams yet really struggling to put a few passes together. Liverpool have started the better just because they've had a couple of dangerous free kicks now in dangerous areas.
Yeah, I think if Gakpo can just block Disasi there, you see Konate and Van Dijk. Van Dijk's just organising them. I think Endo and Gakpo have got to block Disasi, make him not be able to sort of spin round the back, and I think Gusto's in trouble.
This one is a little more central. Flicked in again by McAllister, touch from Disasi. It's come to Konate, who handled. '40th game of the season for Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp. Maximum of 23 more, minimum of 15 more. Liverpool on the front foot again. Elliott looking to prompt. Taken away for Gallagher. Shifted forward for Sterling to hurry after. Konate is back there and Kelleher can clear. Chilwell. Back by Endo, down by Elliott, whose exchange with Bradley was smart.
I mean, you go back to the game 3 weeks ago, and I know you've got the Anfield factor as well, but Chelsea found it really difficult to sort of build from the back. We've probably already seen it on 2 or 3 occasions here. where Chelsea trying to build up from the back. Maybe not quick enough. That one was actually Enzo Fernandez. They know Liverpool's pressure's coming.
That's a super ball from Elliott. And Robertson's on the march, and Robertson has lifted it in. And the header is a loopy one, which is easily gatherable from Diaz by Petrovic.
Oh, no communication. Gakpo was in a far better position to finish that off. It's really good from Robertson. He delivers it early. And Diaz there, he can't be aware of what's behind him.
Bradley, who has the bearing of a 20-year-old veteran. Bradley. Elliott, who you remember 2 years ago wasn't meant to be in the Liverpool matchday squad, got onto the bench because Thiago was injured in the warm-up and ended up coming on and taking one of those nerve-tingling penalties successfully.
That's some pass.
Which Robertson sorted out. Gravenberch. Liverpool, remember, just still 2 domestic defeats all season, both of those in London. Spurs amid great misfortune, of course, and Arsenal more recently. Sterling, Fernandez, brought away with confidence by Endo, who runs away from Caicedo, feeds it up to Diaz. It's calm from Dizazi.
Yeah.
Diaz went to ground, nothing given.
Yeah, I mean, Liverpool so much more stable in the first 10 minutes of this game. Chelsea like a box of frogs.
Palmer. Cole Palmer. Nudged out by Van Dijk. Malo Gusto behind off Robertson for a Chelsea corner.
Yeah, that might just help settle them down. Very frantic. Those young blue shirts in this first 10 minutes. They need this little bit of respite to allow them to get up the pitch.
So Jackson inside the 6-yard box, or right on the fringe of it. Palmer now onto the goalkeeper's toes. Caicedo is joining the congestion, and Chilwell is about to deliver. In by Ben Chilwell. Kelleher's knuckles.
Oh, it's crazy. What's Diaz doing?
I mean, you could see that foul before he made it. I mean, Liverpool have done well. The goalkeeper's done well initially to deal with that first set piece, because that's something Chelsea will look to, put pressure on the goalkeeper, and then Luis Diaz does that. And there's more to come for that man, but he certainly dealt with the first one really well.
Gallagher and Chilwell conspire over it. Disasi over the shoulder of Jackson, and Sterling hiding behind the pair of them. In by Chilwell, beyond Disasi, fired back in by Gusto, and Kelleher had a view of it. Konate. Bradley's adventurously forward. Gakpo's up ahead of him. He's fed it here for Luis Diaz. Diaz and Gravenberch. And Diaz. Nicked away from him by Caicedo. Endo. He's won it from McAllister. Gakpo's through the middle. Elliott's wide. McAllister had a hit. Right down the throat of Petrovic.
Yeah, see an effort again from Liverpool. They win it. Chelsea think they're going to break. Endo does really well. And then McAllister hasn't really got many more options than to take the shot. Always going to be difficult from there, but again, this shot just reinforces. And again, this now from Gakpo.
Gakpo and Diaz! Beaten out by Petrovic.
Those Liverpool fans at the opposite end, they can smell blood. It's a very nervy Chelsea team.
Palmer, Gallagher. Beaten off it by Endo.
Well, again, it comes from Chelsea trying to play out from the back. He slips there, Dizazi. And he gets away with one. Luis Diaz, who missed a host of chances midweek against Luton. That's the best chance of the game. Half chance for him.
There's been a thorn in the Chelsea side this season, scored home and away against them in the Premier League. Caicedo, Palmer, smooth. Gallagher, Chilwell's wide.
Yeah, the first bit of football from Chelsea.
Dizazi. Christo. Palmer. Caicedo. Christo won't get there.
Oh, it's really poor from Caicedo. You mentioned before the game, Peter, in your announcing the teams, the £200 million midfield. They both show so much promise, but I don't think they've yet to reach the heights individually, or certainly not as a unit. It's pretty much as it's looked. Liverpool well on top.
Diaz in a race with Dizazi. He takes it out of the immediate danger area. Chilwell, though, has lost it and prevented the potential progress of Bradley.
Yeah. Bradley really anticipates what's going to happen. Chilwell doesn't know he's there. A little look over his shoulder. And they're asking for trouble.
Yeah, initially Chelsea, they went almost man for man from the goal kick. And that's why the space was there for the Liverpool goalkeeper to find that 1v1 with Dizazi and Diaz.
So same two again. Robertson left, McAllister right. In by Robertson. Repelled as far as Elliott, who looked to set it for Gravenberch. He ran into Fernandes, and Jackson now can run into the Liverpool half. And he does so with appetite. He falls under challenge from Bradley, nothing doing. Happily, and I mean this in the most positive sense, we haven't mentioned the referee yet, who is Chris Kavanagh, by the way.
Yeah, both teams had a few set pieces each now and not quite made the most of it. I think Liverpool's delivery's been a little bit tentative, almost just trying to make sure they don't put a bad one in without really putting the pace and whip, one of that you'd probably need to get ahead on it.
This time tidily dispossessing his opposing fullback. Long from Petrovic, Van Dijk away from Jackson. Bradley from central midfield, breaking off Fernandes. Hitting a shot against the back of Colwill. And Sterling nips out. Gallagher had his ankle tapped by Elliott, and it's a Chelsea free kick.
It's a couple of times now, Gusto, who's been really impressive in this last 2 or 3 weeks. Really clear his signs that the occasion's just getting to them a little bit. They need to get through this moment, Chelsea. Find something in the game that will help them settle. Maybe it's just time, but will they get time? Will Liverpool let them off?
McAllister just too heavy for Gravenberch. Palmer. Caicedo. Acreage ahead of Gallagher. Turned in beyond Jackson for Sterling. And Palmer and Jackson.
Oh, what a save. What a save from Kelleher. Well, Chelsea out of nowhere. Robertson for some reason goes charging into midfield. Van Dijk can't get across, and Raheem Sterling, you think he's got to hit that first time. Why has he not? But it falls to Cole Palmer, and he just tries to sweep it into the near post. But Kelleher, well, it's wonderful. He's got a world-class goalkeeper in front of him, but he's delivered a world-class moment there.
That is unbelievable. That man more than most. Carl Palmer can't believe he hasn't put Chelsea 1-0 in front. I think the whole stadium is just expecting that net to bulge.
Well, it may be that settles Chelsea down. I have to say, I was surprised that Raheem Sterling didn't hit that first time as it's coming into him.
Diaz going the other way for Liverpool. Gusto with a telescopically extended leg and a very tidy tackle out by Palmer. Well, he has been omnipresent, of course, in the Carabao Cup this year, the star of the show 2 years ago. Very nearly half of his appearances in Liverpool's first team have been in this competition. He has a remarkable penalty shootout record, which we'll come to if and when. You wouldn't be surprised with these two. And he has claimed the moment of the game to this point. In by Gusto, blocked by Robertson. Eased out by Endo, shifted on by Gravenberch. Gusto.
Yeah, for the first time we can hear the Chelsea fans get up to the left-hand side of me.
Fernandes. Bradley sorting out Sterling. Endo. Gravenberch. Kicks it well for Gakpo. Fernandes with a clean enough challenge, though Gakpo has stayed down.
Yeah, I think the first one was a foul. He played the advantage and the second one wasn't. I think it's Gravenberch on the near side, who actually I think was fouled initially, but the referee played on.
Yeah, I think he played the advantage, didn't he? Because it went into Gakpo. And I think the challenge on Gakpo was a fair challenge. Yeah, you see that's a foul, but the referee, I think, tried to play the advantage. Well,
Oh, he just leaves one in on him there, Caicedo, with his left foot, studs. Similar to the one we saw yesterday with Harry Maguire.
Mike Dean's with us. What are you thinking, Mike?
Yeah, I just think he's caught his foot on top of foot. It's probably a little bit like the same as yesterday, but not as severe as yesterday. So he's tried to play on Chris. It hasn't quite worked out. The second one's not a foul, but for me, could have been a caution. Could go back and caution him later on, but obviously chose not to. But it's a second challenge by Caicedo. So he's treading the fine line at the moment.
Video assistant referee is John Brooks. He will have had a good look. Mauricio Pochettino, of course, entirely at home here. He was at home with Tottenham during his tenure at that London club.
Well, we can hear the VAR official explaining to the on-field referee. The on-field referee knows there's been contact and he's asking what's happened and he's just having it explained to him.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting whether he can carry on. You know, Liverpool haven't got many options on the bench, and you look how frustrated they are. I mean, I don't think it's a red card, but Caicedo, he's already put a challenge in early on the edge of his own box. And you think of that one, he's very lucky not to at least be in the referee's book at this stage now.
I think also, guys, as well, I know the referee, the VAR can't inform the referee, but sometimes when challenges are like that, he's obviously seen a foul, he's tried to play on. That's when he'd like to think the VAR could say, well, for me, it's not serious power play, as we said, but it is a definite yellow card. That's why I wish sometimes they could go and caution the player, because it is a yellow card offence, no doubt whatsoever.
I think Jurgen Klopp may be most angry with the fact that he hadn't recognised that he'd played on for an advantage. Obviously, Gakpo then was fouled after that, or he thought he was fouled after that, which he actually wasn't. So I think he thinks that the referee's missed that first challenge, which he hasn't. I think he's seen it and decided that Liverpool can maybe go and attack.
Mike, you know those situations, do you think there's a case there for actually, if you don't have the advantage, Gakpo loses the ball, that you actually take that back because it happens so quickly afterwards?
I think he could do it, because obviously he's chose not to give the second one neither, which obviously wasn't a foul, but he could have gone back. But also I think the assistant referee on the near side, he's probably got the best view of the tackle on Gakpo. He probably could have informed Chris that yes, play on, but when the player has something, you can go back and caution the player.
Mike, I think what Jamie was saying was, if Liverpool are playing, can we go back and basically give Liverpool a foul?
Well, you might have said the same if Manchester United were playing as well, Gary, but we won't go there, eh?
Well, this is a problem for Liverpool. You just think how they'll reshape now.
5 at the back?
No, where would Joe Gomez go here?
Would he not go to 5 at the back? 3, obviously Gomez, Van Dijk, Kanate, and then put Bradley and Robertson as wing backs? Yeah, it's just it's not something he does too often, or if I can remember if he's ever done it really before, Jurgen Klopp. Does Conor Bradley go into midfield? Well, he's certainly good enough on the ball. I mean, he's picked it up in there a couple of times, hasn't he?
And of course what it also does, and let's first of all allow some time for sympathy for poor Ryan Gravenberch, for whom this would have been, of course, as for all Liverpool's players, a day of immense personal importance.
Jurgen Klopp's going mad. I mean, he literally is going mad over there. I think it's the referee saying, he's making a stud sort of motion as if to say that his player's been done.
The VAR is talking about an unfortunate slip in amongst all of that, Gary.
Yeah, well, what the referee's still asking VAR what's happened. He's obviously a little unsure on the pitch, but I think he's being fed the right information, to be fair to him. It certainly wasn't a red card. I mean, it may have been a yellow at worst, but it certainly wasn't a red.
Well, Conor Bradley's gone to right wing, Harvey Elliott's gone into the midfield 3, Joe Gomez, as you see with the ball now, he's gone into right full back. And Jurgen Klopp is screaming at the referee.
Well, what it does, apart from anything else, of course, is reduce what were already hugely reduced options for him from the bench. Joe Gomez, Kostas Tsimikas, really the only 2 senior substitute outfield players that Jurgen Klopp had available to him. You might include Jarell Quansah as a third, given the amount he's played this season, but beyond that, you are down to teenagers and very early 20s who have precious little first-team experience between them. And there's Jackson for Chelsea and Fernandes for Chelsea, whose ball is too heavy.
Well, it's a poor choice. I mean, Raheem Sterling's looking right at him and still looking right at him, saying, why didn't you pass it to me? He tries to reverse pass it with the outside of his foot, and Raheem Sterling's just, you see out to the left of him.
Palmer. Stolen away by Endo.
Yeah, the problem Liverpool have got with the injuries that they've got, it's not just players being out, it's what they bring, what the strengths are. So when you actually look at Chelsea trying to get him behind Liverpool don't really have that pace in the front three. So they're forever trying to get into their attacking players' feet.
Chilwell. Sterling. And Bradley, whose instincts we've already learnt are very front-footed, gets the opportunity here to be just that. Out of Liverpool's misfortune. And out of that misfortune for Joe Gomez, some good luck. He was injured for the League Cup final of 2022. He stayed on the bench for the FA Cup final that spring. He did get a few seconds of the Champions League final in 2019, but having been left out of the 11 from the start today, he gets an hour plus at least of this major event. Endo. Foul by Caicedo.
I mean, he's made a few fouls already in this game. I mentioned how he's very fortunate, the game I commentated on last week at Manchester City, probably to stay on the pitch actually, certainly for one challenge in the first half, but he's incredibly clumsy in a lot of the challenges he puts in.
Diaz away from Gusto, not from Gallagher. Palmer.
And Chelsea just have settled down. It's obviously a big break in play.
Palmer, and Gallagher judged it okay.
Yeah, think about Caicedo and his challenges. He doesn't know when to slow down. He continues to run quickly at players and then doesn't just halt himself or hesitate as he approaches an opposition player, which means he's constantly giving fouls away.
Chilwell robbed by Bradley, seemingly fouled by Bradley. And having been at boiling point, he is back down to simmer.
No, I'm not sure he is. That smile isn't a smile like we know it.
Palmer. Jackson, no flag. Sterling's up. Jackson's on his way. Raheem Sterling! Now the flag's up.
Well, I was watching the assistant referee very closely. I thought Jackson had just gone a touch too early. We're not in line, so I could be wrong. But that was my feeling, that Konate steps up. They're obviously high, Liverpool, they always are. And he just steps, and I think he just does it in time. And that right knee of Jackson, for me, is just in front of the last Liverpool defender, but it's a brilliant bit of play at the end. It was hard to get that pass past Joe Gomez.
I think it's touch and go. It's very, very close. It's closer than we think. Judging by the way he's looking, the still we've got on the screen we've got in front of us, he looks onside from the screen we've got, but obviously there's another side on view that looks offside, so that's why they're going to draw the lines 100%.
Well, Mark Scholes delayed his flag, and in that circumstance you understand why. He had to allow the move to finish. It did finish with the ball in the net, and now it's about lines and millimetres.
Yeah, it's great work by the assistant referee, because I was watching him closely thinking he has to allow it to continue. I mean, just Konate's... It is close. I mean, we're guessing, aren't we?
That's what VAR's there for, Gary. And also need to know as well, when the cross from into the middle when Sterling scores, that may well have to be looked at as well, because we're not sure if he was offside neither. But this is obviously the main one. And he's offside, yeah, offside.
Well, that is an immaculate piece of officiating, you're bound to say. The referee's assistant delayed, as he ought to have done, and then he flagged and was proven correct to have done.
Yeah, to the naked eye as well, Peter. You've got to applaud Mark Scholes on the line there, because he's called that in real time, and judging how long it took the VR to get the lines on, we're just here in two plus minutes. It's a really good on-field decision, and praise has got to be for Mark there. Outstanding bit of officiating.
What's the situation, Mike, in terms of actually putting the flag up? So the ball's gone in anyway, so VAR are going to check it anyway.
I think because his protocol, he's called an offside decision anyway. He would have said to Chris, waiting on, he is offside. When the ball goes to the net, he will call an offside decision. Obviously, if you think it's onside, he'll keep his flag down. But he has to let play continue, which he did do. And again, he's gone back and made the correct call. Very good.
Well, it just goes back to that point I made earlier in terms of what Chelsea have in their attack, in terms of players who really want to run in behind. Liverpool haven't quite got that. Certainly no real blistering pace, hence why Núñez and Mo Salah are big misses for Liverpool.
Endo, Elliott, beyond Fernandes, Bradley, Elliott, Gakpo.
Oh, Gakpo had to play Diaz in.
Endo, Robertson, McAllister, deep towards Bradley, who's won his header but placed it behind Harvey Elliott. Up into the air by Konate, brought down by Diaz, sorted out by Fernandes. Palmer has Gusto going outside of him, but switches it for Chilwell, who's on an adventure. That's a super run. Inside the last 10 minutes, apparently, of a first half full of event. Because of that event, I suspect we're going to have a fairly hefty chunk added on. McAllister got away with one. Robertson. Diaz over the shoulder of Gusto. That was very adeptly done.
Oh, really good. He settled down, Gusto. He was really shaky early in the game.
Chilwell, Sterling, set back by Gallagher, chased in by Palmer, and very calmly defended by Robertson.
Oh, I wanted to see a bit more urgency from that man there, Cole Palmer. I actually think he's inside Robertson to start with. Look at where he is, and he allows Robertson to get back. And brilliant defending from the Liverpool left back. Just on his heels, Cole Palmer. He hasn't got that killer instinct in front of goal to go and drive towards that near post.
Yeah, it feels like Liverpool are just hanging on at the moment. They're really confident. Chelsea, you go back to that Cole Palmer chance. Yeah, it was a big chance, but as you said at the time, Gary, that'll really relax them. And they're starting to show real authority now on the ball.
Yeah, momentum swings in games. It's a big chance that they got, but also I think the injury just has knocked Liverpool. You know, Bradley on that right hand side, he's not really got in the game.
Colwell's high boot was close to Bradley's chin. He's fine.
I obviously haven't watched Liverpool's youth games and development games, but I take it this is the first time you'll have seen Bradley play as high as that.
Yeah, in that position. I mean, don't forget Liverpool's full-backs, we know they take up certain positions. Even Joe Gomez is doing that now. But you see Bradley, that's where he started his career, as a right winger. As he, like most full-backs, didn't start as a full-back.
I didn't start as a right winger though.
Jamie, if we have time, I enjoyed your piece in the paper about the Liverpool Academy and the boys coming through it, of which, of course, Bradley is making the headlines at the moment. But it's amazing for those of us who consider ourselves laymen looking on, how prepared, how ready they seem to be the moment they cross the white line. They're adults almost as soon as they finish being kids.
Yeah, and I mean, Gary will know this from his time at Manchester United. When you've got a manager who's got confidence in young players, it gives them confidence and belief going into this game. And certainly on the back of the injury Liverpool have already had now with Gravenberch, there's a couple of midfield players on the bench for Liverpool, young lads. They're going to play a part in this game.
Liverpool's remaining subs: Bobby Clark, age 19, James McConnell 19, Quansah 21, Nioni 16, Dan's 18 and Kumas 18. Diaz, McAllister, Diaz, Robertson! Oh, he's hit the post as Gakpo, and Chilwell scrapes it clear. McAllister again. Caicedo's in the way.
Oh, Gakpo, so close. The worker position down this side. Just a lovely little pass into Diaz, and they say Robertson just puts it, it's a touch behind Gakpo.
And now Sterling Gomez across. And calmly back by Van Dijk.
No, we've got a game now. Both teams looking really dangerous.
Gomez, Bradley, Gakpo, who has scored in every round so far, and nearly finished that sequence off. Fernandes, Jackson, clear of Konate. That's a super battle.
Oh, it's a great chance. He's just a touch behind him, so he's having just to step away from goal to go back and then put a little bit of power on it. He's so unlucky. It's past Petrovic.
Last year, Marcus Rashford scored in every round up to and including the final. Sterling.
Yeah, Chelsea just got a bit of confidence. They're starting to play.
I mean, Liverpool haven't had a lot really in the last 10-15 minutes, but that Gakpo chance there comes from Dizazi slipping on the ball. Gusto again. They've really shot themselves in the foot at times, Chelsea. Playing, building up round the back, losing it sloppy and giving Liverpool a chance to counter.
Gusto, Palmer. Snatched back by Elliott. Robertson. Diaz. Forcing Gusto back. Luis Diaz. Robertson.
see that ball's come to Luis Diaz a lot more than there is on that far side. You'd expect that he's the real attacking one, but I think they need a little bit more from Luis Diaz. He's the senior man onto the attacking sort of normal trio, if you like. He's not doing enough in terms of going at his man and really committing him at times. Comes back inside on that right foot an awful lot.
Fernandes coaxed out towards Gusto, nodded down for Palmer, who wants to give it him back. Van Dijk slid in. Elliott looked forward at once, and Diaz can have another little wriggle, and he's wriggled away from Fernandes, and he's chasing towards Dizazi. It's Luis Diaz, it's Harvey Elliott, it's Diaz again, it's Bradley! And it's away by Caicedo.
Oh, they're queuing up.
Back in by Gomez. Diaz. And Dizazi without complication.
It was one of the few times we've seen Luis Diaz really go at someone, and it was Fernandes he was up against, not the full-back.
Yeah, last few minutes Liverpool have just recovered well. Gravenberg going off, they just harmed them for 10-12 minutes, and now this last few minutes pull themselves back together.
Van Dijk, McAllister, Diaz against Colwill. Gomez, Bradley. Free kick.
Well, they're all lending it to each other. I always think it's really good when you wait for the player, then you reverse pass it in, and they're really dangerous for defenders, and all over the place. Those Chelsea bodies are just falling at the feet of Liverpool players trying to make blocks. It's Bradley's chance, sets it in front of him, tries to side foot it predictably. Colwill does well.
Yeah, did well twice, Colwill there initially on the first one as well.
Here's Diaz. Endo. Robertson. Slung out wide by Van Dijk. Gomez. Bradley and Chilwell becoming mutually entangled, and there's more. There's more. Chilwell's enraged. And they each need calming down.
No, I think Chilwell's trying to get a reaction out of Bradley. I think he's trying to play the youngster. To be fair to Bradley, he's walked away. Chilwell's looking like he's angry, but he's actually not. He just wants to get that young man sent off.
Yeah, just 6 and 2 threes. I expect a course for Chilwell, course for Bradley. That's all it is for me. Doesn't seem to be nothing else whatsoever that's gone on.
It's a yellow each.
Yeah, they're getting involved in a tangle, and then sort of both having a little bit of a... Chilwell, who pushes Bradley, doesn't do much, to be fair.
Did they need to be booked for that, Mike?
I think because of the reaction of everybody else charging in, you've got to make some kind of example of two players, and unfortunately what's gone on in the game with few tackles, that's probably the worst thing that's gone on during the game, but it is too caution for me.
Well, Conor Gallagher did them both a favour by getting between them, and all is calm again ish. McAllister, Jackson. 2 or 3 minutes away from a half-time address, and as it was in 2 Wembley finals 2 years ago, Chelsea and Liverpool haven't yet managed to find a goal between them. Everything but.
I think he was muttering there to the fourth official, Jurgen Klopp.
Gakpo. Elliott dispossessed by Gallagher. Chilwell, Sterling, Chilwell. There's no comfortable route round Van Dijk. Elliott for Bradley, partially out by Gallagher. Endo, McAllister around the corner.
He just hasn't settled as well as you probably would have liked, Gakpo, has he, at Liverpool? You just see him on his heels again there. He's not in sync with them.
Yeah, it sometimes just feels a little bit quick for him. He's not the quickest of players himself, but at times when he's on the ball, you just think, can he just do things at a quicker pace? But I mean, this has been his competition. Without him, Liverpool wouldn't be here. 4 goals scored in every round.
He needs one more, Jamie, correct, to be a joint top scorer in this competition. On 5 at the moment. Morgan Rogers, who got his 5 goals for Middlesbrough before, of course, moving more recently to Villa. Jackson's chip on Konate. Diaz, last assault of the half. Robertson. By Robertson for Bradley, that's a beautiful take. Bradley across goal, stabbed out by Colwill. Half-time, goalless, but certainly not eventless. Extraordinary save by Kelleher to deny Cole Palmer a Chelsea goal, and that wasn't all. Raheem Sterling had the ball in the net, but was by millimetres denied by a VAR offside. And then at the other end, Cody Gakpo's header came back off Chelsea's post. And so at half-time in the 2024 Carabao Cup Final at Wembley, it remains Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0. Yeah, Mark, nobody can say we haven't had precedent. Of course, Chelsea's last 2 League Cup finals, they've lost on penalties. Of Liverpool's 13 previous League Cup finals, only 3 have been decided in 90 minutes. And of Liverpool's 9 League Cup wins, only 2. The 2-1 Steve McManaman game against Bolton in 1995 and in 2003 when it was Neville against Carragher. Otherwise, Liverpool have always gone to extra time and beyond. And here's Endo. And Diaz, with green grass to run into here. Luis Diaz, shepherded behind for a very prompt second half corner.
Yeah, Chelsea defenders aren't happy, they think it's offside. He's not. No chance. Is it Dizazi in the end that does well just to block it at the near post?
So Andy Robertson with the first set piece of the second half. Robertson with outswing, Van Dijk was attacking it, it came to Connor Bradley. Shifted out towards Gakpo and hit by Endo. who pulled it.
Yeah, the first clearance comes to the edge of the box and there's just a little scrap. Breaks the endo, he half fancies it. Hits it well, and he's way off target.
Well, that man there, well, the pair of them, but Ian Rush in particular alongside the great Kenny Dalglish was at one stage in Liverpool's history their absolute League Cup king. Scoring on this occasion was a habit. There they are, the pair of them, inseparable for the whole of their working lives, more or less, give or take. Ian Rush scored in the final of 1982 when Liverpool beat Spurs 3-1. Ronnie Whelan's game. Whelan scored again against Manchester United the following year. Liverpool 4 in a row back then, 40-odd years ago. Jurgen Klopp seeking here what, in a utopian world for him, would be the first of 4 trophies before his final season is out. Robertson chasing back willingly. It is facile, Janie. Maybe it's overly simplistic because Liverpool have a very good 11 on the field now, but hearing what we did of the guys in the studio, it feels like such a big chance for Chelsea, this.
Yeah, and I think the longer the game goes, I think it plays into Chelsea's hands. They've obviously got attacking talent on that bench. Just see Caicedo down now, the challenge with McAllister. But as I said, I think the longer this game goes on, you probably have to favour Chelsea, but you think of some of the chances we had in the first half, namely Cole Palmer's. If you get similar sort of situations again, you'd expect somebody to put the ball in the back of the net.
Gomez cut out by Fernandes. Elliott's always eager. Remarkable that Harvey Elliott went past 100 games for Liverpool midweek. He's still only 20. Chilwell's throw, Konate is wrapping up Jackson. Jackson was strong, Gallagher joined him. Konate came up with the ball, but Enzo Fernandez has it now. Diaz rolling off Gusto.
I don't disagree that it's all there for Chelsea. It's just whether a group that have been thrown together, that have been so inconsistent this season, have his men got what it takes to get over the line in a big game against Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool? That is the big question.
I mean, when you think of Liverpool's team on that pitch, the one thing that is pretty strong is that back forward, isn't it? You talk about Chelsea going on and win the game and maybe getting a goal or two. There isn't too much. Obviously, you've got Joe Gomez at right back, but really experienced player. He's played in a lot of big games. The rest of it's first choice. And they are going to need that if they're going to win this game. Certainly the 2 centre-backs. I think you mentioned before the game, Gary, how important they will be. Virgil van Dijk and Konate.
By Gusto. Covered by Endo. Nice touch from McAllister. Endo bounced off Caicedo. And here's Bradley with Elliott outside of him and Gomez inside of him. Not anticipating the pass. Sterling, Fernandes. Steered up for Jackson. Face to face with Konate, whom he's beyond. And Gallagher. And Fernandes trying something intricate which didn't come off.
I mean, did Fernandes know that there were players up with him or not? He tries the spectacular back heel, but if he just stands still, controls it, he's got a little layoff thanks to Raheem Sterling.
Well, that's the problem when your full-backs go into midfield. Misunderstand between Joe Gomez and Conor Bradley, and that's where that space is, isn't it? You can drag the centre-back out wide as Nicholas Jackson did.
Enzo Fernandez, who did score his first Chelsea goal, and a very important one in this competition back in August. They were losing at home to Wimbledon in the second round. He scored eventually the 2-1 winner. Scored in the semi-final as well. Well, Dizazi's error. McAllister pounced, Diaz is wide of him, Gakpo through the middle, and Elliott was the spare man. But Gusto now can go the other way. Gallagher. Cole Palmer. There's a corner out of that. It didn't cross the line. Gallagher sorted out.
Yeah, and I mentioned last week about Dizazi and how good he was, one of the best performances I've seen, certainly defensively, but 4 or 5 times today on the ball. It's been really poor, and that's where Liverpool have got a lot of their chances from, or situations that certainly McAllister should have made a lot more of. And I think that's been the story of the game. When you're waiting for that final pass or final finish in great situations, just hasn't been there for either team.
Has gone long. Bradley's interested here. It's a good read by Petrovic. And away by Chilwell. Sterling's not given this up. Konate had to work it out. Elliott. Van Dijk. Diaz. McAllister outstrides Dizazi. Chilwell, Sterling, sweetly on for Jackson. And Gallagher. And Gusto with appetite. Palmer.
Yeah, McAllister just looked a little leggy as well when he tried to get over to Gusto.
Cole Palmer. He hoped that got a little nibble.
He just goes inside. That Liverpool midfield, they look a little leggy. And this is that chance that was earlier. If you look in the middle, 3 Chelsea bodies. Gets played across. If he just holds it and lays it back to Raheem Sterling, does he know he's there?
Van Dijk goes long again. Bradley is the willing chaser. Again, Petrovic has first dibs on it. Chelsea have kept a clean sheet in each of their last 3 League Cup finals. Spurs, Manchester City and Liverpool lost the last 2 on penalties, not therefore of course having scored in either of their last 2.
I mean, when Liverpool have the ball here at the back, obviously you look forward, as I said in the first half, there's not too much pace there. The one player who's actually trying to make runs in behind, Conor Bradley, he's moved from right back to right wing. So he's making a run in there behind again. At least it gives Liverpool some sort of penetration. You know, Diaz and Gakpo are normally going to come to feet.
Elliott. Gakpo had peeled off. It's Gakpo's cross. It's Elliott, beaten away by Petrovic. And had a play by Palmer. Diaz, and still Luis Diaz.
Yeah, he's involved, combines well with McAllister. He's been really good in this game. Just doesn't get it right again. That was a decent effort. Maybe one for the cameras for the goalkeeper. I think he'd have been pulled up if Liverpool would have scored the rebound.
Van Dijk, Diaz, Gakpo. Caicedo, McAllister, Gakpo. Gallagher and McAllister have clashed. McAllister seemingly on the receiving end.
It's unnecessary from Gallagher.
I think when you look at both teams, Van Dijk is the real standout in terms of size and stature on the pitch. And Liverpool haven't made the most out of sort of any set piece really. If they can find him, it gives them a great opportunity, because you're not quite sure who Chelsea have got in the ranks to stop him.
I've been looking at that back post since the start of the game.
Robertson played it in. Van Dijk! On the hour, the man! And there's your Liverpool leader, your Liverpool legend, and there is your Liverpool lead.
And finally Liverpool find Virgil van Dijk on a set piece. Chelsea don't have anybody to cope with him. Look at the size of him and you wonder why. Finally he put a ball in the danger area, and it's actually Ben Chilwell who was up against Virgil van Dijk, and that's a mismatch. He doesn't even really jump. He just holds Chilwell off and just guides it into that far corner. And that's 2-2 now for Virgil van Dijk.
Well, there's a check going on for a possible offside.
I mean, the checking, but there's obviously that Van Dijk's not offside. The only thing I've got an issue here is that Endo may well have blocked the player that may well have been coming back with Van Dijk on the edge of the area. That's the only thing I can think they're looking at. But for me, I think it's more of a goal than not a goal. If you see where Endo's blocked the player that's coming back, may have blocked him in getting back to mark Van Dijk, but I don't think he is. I think Chilwell's the person that's marking Van Dijk.
Mike, that's the block. That's the block that I said that Liverpool should put on in the first half to get to the back post. It was Gusto and Gallagher at the back post in the first half from the opposite side.
There's a review. There's a review for offside. There's a review for offside.
Well, they're saying the block. So that Endo isn't playing the ball, he's offside and then he goes and blocks. I think it's Colwill.
Mike, does that happen on every set piece?
Yeah, it does. What you'll do, because he's affected, Endo is watching the defender, so he's stopping the defender getting back in a position to make the challenge on Van Dijk. So that's why he's gone over to look at the screen to have a look at it. It's not Van Dijk that's offside, but the 26 cannot challenge Van Dijk because he's been blocked off by Endo. In my opinion, and my honest opinion is, I think we'll be chalked out because he stopped the defender getting back to mark Van Dijk in that space.
I think we see that in almost every set piece where players stand offside and they stop the players running back.
I think you do, but also when it involves the players with the dropping zone. I had one with Maguire at Burnley the other year, exactly the same, and the ball got chalked out because he stopped the player getting back to challenge Van Dijk. It's subjective offside, and it will be given offside in my opinion.
And the goal is disallowed for what you may call a technical offside. And that's a tough one to swallow.
Yeah, he smiles, Jurgen Klopp. I have to say it's something that I was calling for from Liverpool early in the game, that it just looked like the perfect tactic to get Van Dijk and Konate against those smaller players at the back, but they've just been punished for it. Endo, maybe it was a little bit too obvious, maybe he just needs to be a little smarter and cuter. Harsh on Liverpool, a lifeline for Chelsea.
Yeah, and I think it's incredibly harsh. I think we see that on almost every set piece where the attacking team players stand offside and they try and block the defensive line running back in. I can totally get it if it was the guy who was marking Virgil van Dijk. I get that.
Palmer teasing out by Van Dijk, forward by McAllister. Play goes on with the sulphurous Liverpool celebratory fireworks in the nostrils of the players. Van Dijk, Robertson, sweetly taken by Gakpo, who was caught up by Caicedo, who took the ball.
Yeah, I actually think that's one of the occasions where Caicedo does get a little toe poke on it.
Yeah, as I said, you see Chilwell with Virgil van Dijk, you see Endo block. I think it's incredibly harsh. I think we see that in almost every set piece. We see it at times with goalkeepers. Yeah, it doesn't impact Ben Chilwell or Virgil van Dijk. You could argue the player would be in there, but I mean, often you see Arsenal stand in the way of a goalkeeper or stop. I mean, blocking happens on almost every set piece.
I think you're right, it does, but where the ball's dropping zone, you can see there, James, that's where Colwell would have been, so that's why I can understand why it has been chalked off.
Well, every time a goalkeeper gets held off in the 6-yard box and a header's in the 6-yard box, is that a foul?
Not always, no.
Oh, well, thanks, Mike.
McAllister, Robertson.
It's brilliant hearing two people from Liverpool argue on commentary. It's fantastic.
We were born arguing.
I think you'll find out from the Whittle, Gary, but we won't go there.
Sorry.
It's quite all right.
I put you all in the same bucket.
Well, Raheem Sterling had the ball in the net in the first half, and he is giving way now. Not a lot of Liverpudlian sympathy for him. His replacement is Christopher Nkunku, who, whilst relatively meaninglessly, did score for Chelsea at Anfield at the end of last month. Two-time German Cup winner, Christopher Nkunku with Leipzig.
Yeah, Jurgen Klopp's got that look of him on the far side. It's us against the world. And the referee is getting the brunt of him. He's at him all the time. Feels really hard done to on the Gravenberch challenge and on that goal. It's disallowed.
There's a right old pile up underneath the nose of the referee's assistant there.
Yeah, it's a yellow card that for Andy Robertson, I think. It's unlike him, he just loses his head a little bit. He has a little bit of a swipe.
That is like him.
He's not usually as obvious as that, though, if you just look at what he does here.
Nobody actually gets away with the first one a little bit here.
It's not that one.
No, it's the one after, I'm saying.
No, it's this one now, there.
Yeah, I mean, that is ridiculous. I mean, the linesman just, a yard away from you. Well, as I said, he got away with a couple to start with.
Well, it is a free kick. Card or no card. And this renders Liverpool vulnerable now. Coming down from a high that was cut off in its prime.
You just see where Nkunku is there, the 18. Just stood behind that line. Can they just stop those Liverpool players getting out to him, pull it back? No, he can't.
Gallagher too heavy for Disasi.
Yeah, it's a poor delivery. There was an obvious free kick there, just to sort of pull it back behind that Liverpool back line.
Chilwell has won a corner at the west end of Wembley, which is enveloped by Chelsea blue. First Caicedo showed short, then Jackson. Gallagher ignored the pair of them. And now Gallagher delivers, and it's scooped up from right underneath the crossbar by Disasi.
I mean, you can't believe this game's 0-0.
Well, it looked harder to miss. He just had to help it in, but he just pops it up in the air off his knee.
Forward by Bradley, on by Gakpo. There were a lot of people 2 years ago after the League Cup final between these pair who said it was one of the greatest goalless games there's ever been. You don't necessarily categorise this in the same way, but my goodness me, it's eventful. And as Jamie says, it's bemusing that it's still goalless. Diaz, impishly and penetratively, Diaz, and Gakpo has blazed.
Oh, Gakpo. Luis Diaz, so direct, drives right the way through the heart of Chelsea and pops it off into a really good position. It is coming across the body of Gakpo, which makes it difficult always, but it was as soft a roll across his body as you're going to get. He just has to concentrate and not lean back.
Liverpool change is imminent. This is going to be Bobby Clark, who has played just 6 minutes in the League Cup prior to this, in the second leg of the semi-final at Fulham. Away, that's a lovely take from Harvey Elliott. Bradley. Colwell was well stationed. Nkunku and Gallagher. Colwell, he's got away from Gomez, and Colwell delivered. Palmer, Gusto. And, Van Dijk off balance, but out of play. Gusto, Gallagher, Palmer, Fernandes, Gusto. Gallagher too heavy for Jackson.
Substitution for Liverpool, hitting the field number 84, Conor Bradley.
So Conor Bradley, after 70 Wembley minutes, which would a matter of months ago been beyond his wildest dreams, gives way to Bobby Clark, who would be experiencing the same sort of fantasy here. He was born just short of 3 weeks before the 2005 League Cup final between Chelsea and Liverpool. I'm told his dad Lee, famous footballer in his time with Newcastle and Sunderland and Fulham, is in the stadium to watch him.
Yeah, now the Elliott's moved back up into that front three. Word for Conor Bradley, sorry, he's outstanding. What an introduction to Liverpool it's been for him. Really impressive.
He's making a run here, Bobby Clark. It's come to Gakpo, and it would have come to Elliott.
Oh, well done Nkunku, by the way. He has seen the danger and got back in. We often criticise wide players and forwards for not getting back in, which we should give them credit when they're right back in there, because they're in trouble there, Chelsea.
Clark. He's won a corner. And he'll feel quickly part of it now.
Well, Andy Robertson is coming over with McAllister, screaming at him who's going to take it. But I think Liverpool were unfortunate on their last set piece, but the name of the game doesn't change. Trying to find the head of Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah, he's having a word with the referee saying, I'm going to get blocked.
What are we allowed to do, ref? McAllister with outswing. Konate's up this time. Elliott's competing. Palmer was in the way. Palmer hacks it partially out and Nkunku can't gather it. Up in the air by Endo. Fernandez again. Forward by Clark, who's at the back of Caicedo. He's kept on going and it's picked off by Dizazi.
You watch Moses Caicedo when he was at Brighton, he thought he was actually quite good on the ball, but you watch him here at Chelsea, he's absolutely shocking at times in possession.
Yeah, he's really struggled, he has. You think of that fight at the start of the season between both clubs willing to spend, what was 115 million?
Yeah.
Chilwell.
You know who's going to get the Chelsea assist now, don't you?
Nkunku. Colwill. Fernandez, that's a nice switch. Gusto. Palmer's hacking his touchline. Caicedo. Palmer driving at Robertson. Cole Palmer. Oh, it's against the post from Gallagher.
Wow. Oh, this ball doesn't want to go in.
Well, the good fortune extends both ends of the pitch. Cole Palmer, there's a gap between Konate and Van Dijk, and Gallagher's in that gap.
Oh, Gallagher and Gakpo have both hit that post. Everything but.
Yeah, it's a brilliant pass from Cole Palmer. He doesn't just cross it, he finds Gallagher in that position. And we've seen him in the last couple of weeks, even a little bit further out, away at Crystal Palace. Just going from that number 10 position, unmarked into the box.
Hoisted wide by Van Dijk. Liverpool come into that period of a game which appeals to them most.
Yeah, but more often than not, they've got real firepower on the bench. think 39 goal involvements from Liverpool substitutes this season.
Elliott. Harvey Elliott's cross. Andy Robertson's header. Out by Colwill, down by Diaz. Brought away by Gusto. Sifted on by Palmer. In went Konate without compromise. Palmer. And Conor Gallagher couldn't get a shot away.
Van Dijk to the rescue for Liverpool. Starting to cause problems down there, right, Chelsea. Cole Palmer at times find himself 1v1 with Andy Robertson.
Inside the quiet final quarter of an hour of the 90 now. And we close in seemingly on déjà vu all over again. His only win against Klopp and Liverpool was here at Wembley as the manager of Tottenham in the Premier League, a 4-1 win in October of 2017. Otherwise, Klopp has been in charge of their personal duels. Gallagher again. Followed by Robertson. Gakpo, Diaz, Chelsea just a little shy at the back. Diaz, McAllister, Elliott, Gomez! This would be the day.
Oh, he went for glory. He went for glory. It was that, or just maybe guide it towards the back post, where there's a Liverpool player just making a move in, but 10 minutes to go in a cup final. This really is up for grabs. You wouldn't like to call it.
Clark, Endo, Elliott.
He's done really well, young Clark, since he's come on. 3 or 4 times he's been involved.
McAllister crashed in, Chelsea have a free kick. Cards out. Alexis McAllister, the third to have seen yellow on the day.
Well, before the game, Cara, you said that if it went this late on, you'd fancy it, that Chelsea were more the favourites because of Liverpool's lack of strength on the bench. Do you still feel the same now we're here?
Yeah, of course. And also you think of the players who are out. If this actually goes all the way, maybe to penalties, a lot of Liverpool's penalty takers are actually injured and not involved.
Nkunku, Jackson.
It's not so much that Liverpool have got a really young bench, it's the fact that there's not really a lot of attacking players on the bench who you think could maybe come on and change it in terms of trying to get a goal. I mean, more often than not, extra time just ends up sort of having both teams to really worried about conceding a goal and almost accepting the fate of getting penalties.
Diaz. Right across goal from Robertson, it came to Elliott. Gomez. Cleared by Colwill. Thrashed at by Endo. Taken away by Gallagher. Sliding in is Konate. It's becoming wild in moments. I think that yellow card's for Konate.
Yeah, it was. The first challenge was a really good one. It was committed from both players. It was Gallagher and Gomez. It was that second one where Konate was late.
Desperation of the last embers of a cup final. Cup final is going to be decided in a moment, whenever that moment comes.
Today's attendance here at Wembley is 88,806.
That kind of a day again.
The EFL would like to thank you for helping to make this season.
We've been here before, they've been here before.
To remember.
You just don't know.
Well, you can see Liverpool still, over the course of this match, far more dangerous moments in the Chelsea box, but Chelsea have had a couple of big chances. Gallagher and Palmer, the biggest.
This is Palmer. Caicedo, Gusto, Nkunku, angle too tight.
Yeah, it was always one of those, the way that Gusto crosses it, that was moving away from Nkunku.
There is a lot of activity on the Liverpool bench. And three young men in red are about to get their dream come true. Konate, Gakpo. Delayed by Fernandes. Jackson couldn't hold it. Endo.
He's got to do more. Gakpo, he's one of the senior men out there for Liverpool.
McAllister for Diaz. Jackson. Fernandes. Palmer. Nkunku through the middle. Gallagher is galloping. If Palmer can see him, this is Conor Gallagher! And Kelleher was so promptly and proudly standing up to him.
Well done, Kelleher. It was brilliant. We could see it all evolve in front of us. And the goalkeeper made such a positive early decision to get out. He's been brilliant.
Yeah, the best piece of credit you can give him. It feels like Alisson's been in goal today for Liverpool.
I just think Gallagher got shocked. He was surprised that Kelleher was on top of him so quickly.
Fernandes. Jackson's on his way. There is no flag. There is no Konate, who held up Jackson. And now Gallagher.
Oh, it's a good chance. It's a good chance, two good chances, three good chances for Conor Gallagher. He stays on the side. Konate thinks about stepping up into his own half and then gets back the centre-back and holds him up well. But he just pops it off. And he's leaning back. Conor Gallagher, that's the big chance where he gets smothered and suffocated by the goalkeeper.
So change at left back, Tsimikas for Robertson. Alexis McAllister is also giving way for Liverpool.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at that one. He just looked a little leggy about 10-15 minutes ago, the Argentinian.
So that's a big chance for young James McConnell. Good luck to him. And Cody Gakpo gives way to this boy Jayden Danns, who we all met for the first time midweek and who impacted so immediately.
Well, a lot of managers talk about having belief and faith and trusting young players, but I think there's many would have sat on their hands and just watched this game play out with the players that were on the pitch, but Jurgen Klopp has gone for it with them, and well done to him for that.
Yeah, can Klopp's kids do it?
Well, the easy thing would have been just to leave the more experienced ones out there, but you're right, there are a group of young men out there now in those red shirts. There's going to be quite a bit of added time here, because on the offside goal, I'm sure I heard the VAR official inform the referee that it was 3.5, 4 minutes that you would need to add on just for that alone.
Dan's allowed to run at Disazi. Here's Nkunku. Gallagher's up with him. Jackson's through the middle.
I mean, you talk about these young players coming on for Liverpool now, but you think of Chelsea, they're making a change themselves, and this is a guy I think who cost 70, 80 million pound coming on the pitch now. I didn't think he was going on at left back or centre back.
I think there's an issue with the board. Regardless of numbers, we all recognise Mykhailo Mudryk, and he is replacing Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah, and Nkunku will go up top, I think, will he?
Yeah.
And Mudryk will come to this left-hand side. Well, this is Kelleher.
Brilliant. I mean, that's what the great goalkeepers do in that situation. As soon as you take your touches to attack and play, then you lift your head up. The goalkeeper's on top of you. That's what all the great goalkeepers do.
Dan's forceful at the back of Disazi, who was sufficiently strong.
I mean, this game might go to extra time, but it feels huge for not just Chelsea, but Pochettino. It almost feels unthinkable. If he doesn't go on and win this trophy, he'll probably never get enough better opportunities, certainly against quality opposition like Liverpool with the team that they have out.
6 minutes of additional time.
High foot from Caicedo. Liverpool's free kick.
Yeah, there's a big responsibility. There has been all game on Konate and Van Dijk and the goalkeeper. And they're delivering at the moment. They're keeping their team in it.
Clark.
I actually think Van Dijk and Konate would be a little bit happy that Jackson's gone off. He was physically and just from his running causing them a problem.
Caicedo. Gallagher. Mudryk. Nkunku went to ground. There'll be a question.
It was definitely not a penalty. I think he was playing for it, Nkunku. He just had that weird sort of like throw himself to the ground and his legs back type of feel to it.
Yeah, VAR check is hurriedly complete.
I mean, that attack comes from Joe Gomez doing that inverted full-back position, as Liverpool like to do now, but I just don't understand that at all, mate. I understand when Trent Alexander-Arnold does it, but not Joe Gomez. Just stay in your position.
Caicedo. Palmer. Cole Palmer and Christopher Nkunku, and Cole Palmer, and Gallagher saves, and Gusto, and Nkunku.
Oh my goodness me.
Everything but.
What the hell has just happened? Kelleher, Konate, and someone looking down on Liverpool has kept it at 0-0. Konate first, Kelleher second, and then Joe Gomez, and then back to the goalkeeper. His pinball.
Liverpool have just got to get to extra time here. It looks like it's coming for Chelsea. Kelleher did brilliantly, but then he just threw it out really quickly and got Chelsea back on the attack, and this is where this corner's come from.
In by Chilwell, out by Kelleher. Stolen away by Diaz, and he is swift, and he has company. Diaz again. Surrounded by three. Gallagher couldn't progress. Cole Palmer just about escapes.
Yeah, Diaz just trying to be a little bit greedy, do it too much on his own. I'm not quite sure if anyone on the pitch has understood what Jurgen Klopp is trying to tell them to do there.
The angst of being on the edge. Chilwell asking Mudryk to go. And he was threatening to get away from Gomez, who was just so smooth.
Gomez's passing since he's come on has been really poor.
Free kick Chelsea quickly taken. Gallagher.
Gallagher's been really good this second half. Just his final finish has let him down. I say let him down. Once he was very unlucky hitting the post, but he's done everything but score. Those runs from sort of that number 10 position have caused a real problem.
He's had a brilliant season for Chelsea, hasn't he?
Yeah, very good. I think he's been better than the two behind him that have cost 100 million each.
100%.
I think if you're Liverpool, you've got to try and work for a set piece in the final third, haven't you, and get Van Dijk and Konate in the box. That's where you would think Liverpool's best chance may lie, with all these changes that they've had to make in front of them too. What's he doing?
Have got it clear, and as far as Palmer. Against whose chest the ball rode up. Elliott. Caicedo. It's a lovely turn from Gallagher. Robust challenge from Konate at Chelsea. Free kick.
Yeah, he'll have to be careful.
Yeah.
He'll have to be really careful. He's played well, Konate, but he's just on the edge there a little bit. Gallagher just turns and rolls him.
I just think when you're on a yellow card, I know Liverpool's defenders like to be aggressive, certainly the centre-backs, but I think you've just got to put the handbrake on with the situation that you find yourself in on that yellow card. The only hope Liverpool have is those two centre-backs continue to play as they have been for 96 minutes.
96 minutes have passed. Now, or 30 minutes more. In by Palmer, 30 minutes more.
That was a weird free kick.
There's the final whistle, only final it is not. Puzzlingly, beyond all logic, it remains goalless. Posts and VARs and goalkeepers, so there will be more. It's Chelsea 0, Liverpool 0, and extra time follows. It's the final for all generations, Mark. course, we cannot predict what's going to happen. What I would say is that 6 previous League Cup finals have gone to penalties, and of those, Liverpool and or Chelsea have been involved in all but one. It's what they do, and here they are on the way potentially to doing it again. 23 years ago this week, Liverpool won the first of those against Birmingham City. One Jay Carragher hit Liverpool's final kick into the top corner. How are you feeling about this one, Jamie?
Yeah, well, I think if these young lads are involved in a penalty shootout, I think there'll be more confidence from those Liverpool supporters than there was that day when I stepped up. So, yeah, listen, I think looking at the game now, Chelsea are really on top, and Liverpool's best chance might be to try and actually hold on, keep themselves in this game, and maybe not so much play for penalties, but I think it'd be difficult for them to get up the pitch and maybe cause real problems. So they need to stay really compact and stay together as a team.
Well into a channel for Nkunku. Van Dijk across effortlessly again, or at least so it seems. Here's McConnell. Canate.
Yeah, Chelsea have somehow just gone into their shape a little bit, but I think because that's the way Liverpool are, they'd be better off pressing. Letting Liverpool play is just going to, well, partly run the clock down, but give Liverpool confidence.
Elliott. In went Dans. Petrovic wasn't sure. Diaz is still competing. Palmer kept it from going behind. Endo. Tsimikas, who scored the winning penalty, don't forget, in the FA Cup final between these two 2 years ago. Another improbable match winner. McConnell. Clark. Canate. Elliott. A bit of space here for Joe Gomez. Mudryk had to get defensive work done.
Yeah, Chelsea just shrinking back, going quite narrow, quite deep. Liverpool just exploiting that and allowing Joe Gomez to get forward, which we never saw anything of in the last 10 minutes of the game.
I think Liverpool needed that passage of play just for the young players to get a few touches on the ball, just make passes without really trying to hurt Chelsea. But they've got an opportunity now.
By Tsimikas, recycled by McConnell. Gomez, Clark, away by Chilwell, back in by Elliott. Van Dijk is still forward, and Van Dijk won his header, and Dans! Acrobatically turned over by Petrovic.
Yeah, Van Dijk was always going to win it. Dans just can't get it down. He just has to try and head it down if he can, the young man, but he doesn't. He heads it right above the goalkeeper, which I think they're always comfortable for, and Jurgen Klopp turns to those Liverpool fans to get them going. There's no rush to take it, and why not? Set these up.
Yeah.
Make sure the delivery's good.
Tsimikas now with left-footed outswing. Deep from Kostas Tsimikas, beyond even Dans. Fetched by Elliott. Here's McConnell.
Yeah, for some reason Chelsea just sat back. No urgency in the sort of defensive work. Well, Madueke is lined up over the other side to come on for Chelsea.
Chelsea away from Dans, only found Diaz. Clark, Dans, Jayden Dans, McConnell, Clark. Palmer digs it out.
He's gaining a bit of confidence, Liverpool. Those young players starting to settle down and starting to control the game.
If Liverpool are going to win the game, it might have to be the young players. I don't think the energy is actually there. Certainly from this man, he's absolutely shattered Luis Diaz.
Oh, Chelsea look shattered. Look at Gusto.
Thrust forward by Gomez. Diaz, Clark. McConnell dispossessed. Diaz went to get it back and was tripped. Liverpool have a free kick. They found new life, zest, youth.
I don't know what's happened to Chelsea in these last few minutes. It's like they're running in mud.
I mean, but Chelsea have started slowly at every sort of break. First half, second half, and now start of extra time.
While Conor Gallagher had moments towards the end of the 90 minutes when he absolutely could have won it and very nearly did.
Yeah, he's limping, Conor Gallagher. There's no way he would have come off that pitch if there wasn't something up with him. You look him there.
Yeah, he had cramp. He was stretching before when Liverpool had a set piece up against the post. He's run himself into the ground. I think we're going to see a lot more of that in extra time.
Yeah, I think Madueke will go wide. I think Cole Palmer, will he go off the front? You would
he'll go central.
You would think so.
To be replaced by number 11, Noni Madueke.
Well, you can't afford to have periods like this, though, if you're Chelsea. So close to a first trophy for Pochettino at the club. So close for these players in what would have been a difficult season. They'll wake themselves up.
Tsimikas with the free kick. Konate kept it in play and Petrovic took it off Dan's head and flung it for Palmer. His pass for Fernandes wasn't good. Elliott was onto it. He seems re-energised. Endo, who's been the battery in the Liverpool watch throughout.
Yeah, this has been Chelsea right throughout the game. I mean, they started the game really nervously. And in the second half, they actually had the kick-off. They were under pressure, I think, within about 20-30 seconds. And the same's happened again.
Well, this is really surprising, though, with the fact that they finished the game so strongly. And Liverpool have got those young players out there. They're letting them off the hook a little bit. Not just letting them off the hook, they're letting them right back into the game. And
it's gained confidence, isn't it?
Yeah.
You think of those young players be really nervous. And the senior players who are on the pitch for Liverpool will be really tired as well. So, really strange from Chelsea.
James McConnell playing just his 7th first team game. Bobby Clark's playing his 9th. Jayden Dans is playing his 2nd in a week. Tsimikas. Diaz. Elliott! And the net rippled from the outside.
Oh, he just snatched at it a little bit, Harvey Elliott, but it would have been what Liverpool deserved in this first 8 minutes of extra time. It's such a good chance. He's just falling away from goal and just can't get it right. But if that doesn't wake Chelsea up, what will? They look legless, those blue shirts, like they can't move. Have they hit a wall? Or they just get a second win somewhere?
I mean, coming into this game, you'd say it was a 50-50 game. But the longer the game's gone on and the situation with Liverpool and the team they have on this pitch, I think the pressure and the onus has gone right onto Chelsea, and I think this will be a really bad one for them if they lose out. I mentioned how important it would be for Pochettino earlier to get his hands on that first trophy, not just at Chelsea but in England as well.
Konate's header on by McConnell. Poch hasn't lost it.
Yeah, and that question of these Chelsea players is, can they get over the line? It's a big question. We're going to find out the answer in the next half an hour.
I mean, there's no doubt Liverpool were really hanging on towards the end of the game and they needed extra time.
The sense of understanding from Liverpool supporters is unsurprising. They get it. They know what they're watching here. They're watching some pups playing alongside the big dogs on a big day, and they require encouragement and love, and they're getting it. And Liverpool are responding to it. It's Diaz. Away from Dan's by Colwill. Tsimikas. And it spoons up for Petrovic.
Colwill did really well there at the near post. He just reached a leg out as Dan's was just about to put that in the back of the Chelsea net.
Right now, all the noise is red. But the ball is with the Blues. Madueke looking to go round Tsimikas. It's just a goal kick.
Well, I think the energy you see from the Liverpool supporters now is in recognition for those young boys who are on the pitch and have started this extra time ever so well. They've done themselves proud here, these young lads, since they've come on. I think of a couple of those young lads in midfield and who they're up against, the World Cup winner.
Yeah, they can smell something, those Liverpool fans, a little bit of fear in Chelsea, and they're willing their own on. But can Chelsea respond?
Endo juggling. Oh, this is quite something now, because gradually, ripplingly, piece by piece, the Chelsea supporters are beginning to retort, and we have it in.
Yeah, you've got a set of Chelsea fans who haven't built that faith and trust in this team yet. And it's very different for Liverpool, under Jurgen Klopp in particular, in these last few years.
Fernandes, Nkunku, Fernandes hasn't stopped, Madueke's forward, Palmer's forward, Nkunku and Van Dijk away.
Yeah, Konate made a really bad decision there, he just charged out. Left Virgil van Dijk alone to deal with it, and he did. But at least it gets Chelsea up the pitch. All of them.
I'm not sure the referee, I think the referees give a corner here, but I'm not sure if it was a throw-in actually.
Well, if that becomes an issue, it'll be a big issue. Mudryk takes, away from the near post by Tsimikas, out by Konate. Sifted towards Diaz, but seen here by Madueke. He leans clear of Clark. And only Madueke. Van Dijk as ever where he needed to be. And now Dan's striding out, and Fernandes dispossessed him. Palmer.
Yeah, I think if you're Chelsea, you try and get Cole Palmer on the ball as much as possible. The player with composure, with some class.
Good ball from Chilwell. Madueke, Gusto, Nkunku. Van Dijk's there to close it down again and to scream at those around him.
Well, it's taken 13, 14 minutes, but Chelsea have just finally woken up.
I think Madueke on this side's made a difference as well. He's looked sharp since he come on.
Chilwell's corner. Nudge down for Gusto. Dizazi. Scooped in by Fernandes, on by Palmer. And fielded by Kelleher, who's asking Tsimikas to gallop up towards halfway and beyond. Diaz, 1 extra minute at the end of the first period of extra time. Gomez goes down, out comes Petrovic. Super tackle by McConnell, forward by Endo. Sedo steals it back. Madueke. Now here goes Mudryk, and Kelleher's starting position was bang on.
He's been immaculate, the goalkeeper, really has.
Half-time, extra time, no change. Chelsea was slow out of the extra time blocks, but had found their way, their rhythm again by the time this brief stoppage occurred. So Gary, how are you reading it now?
Well, I mean, that first 15 minutes of the extra time was about Liverpool and their young players, his men responding to what was a really challenging last 10 minutes in normal time. They'd be really proud of them. Look at him. That bond he has with them is special, and I think he's counting on that to get Liverpool through this game. They were here 2 years ago, it went to penalties and they won that day, but they've got 15 minutes more yet. He's on to Tsimikas. He's on to those young players, smiling at them. You know, Chelsea, look, I'd expect more from them in extra time, I have to say. I thought it was their game for the taking, and it would be very difficult for Liverpool. But Mauricio Pochettino needs to wake them up, get them going. They can't just wait for penalties, let the game drift. They've got to go and do something. I mean, if you say...
Pochettino, whose last visit to this event was spoiled for him by Chelsea, must now squeeze out of those Chelsea players every last drop of energy available to them and to him. Their third consecutive goalless League Cup final, at least for now.
Is the message to Chelsea players? If I'd have said to you at the start of the season that you've got 15 minutes against Liverpool to win a trophy, would you snap my hand off? They absolutely would. They've got to recognise what's happening here. The moment that they're in, it's not something to fear or be anxious about. It's a moment to rise, and it looks like Liverpool are the ones who are more comfortable. He's got them in the huddle. A big chat.
Opportunity knocks, and it knocks loudly for that Chelsea group. Out of a tumultuous season, this is their wild-card chance to come up with a prize and underline for Pochettino the progress which certainly in recent days and weeks he has unquestionably made with them.
Been really interesting. I mentioned how Chelsea have been poor at the start of every half, and you just feel they've got 15 minutes to really go for this, haven't they?
Oh, they've got to go for it. They'll regret it. These moments are the moments that live with you for a long, long time if you don't grab the opportunity. Is that Konate off?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I mean, another young lad, Jurgen Klopp. Watched him since he was 7 years of age at Liverpool's academy. I think Konate been on a yellow card as well.
Which just drags the average age of the Liverpool 11 even further down. Jurgen Klopp, how good has he been? Just another one who strode into the first team as though he belonged. He owned his place. This is his 20th first team appearance. This weekend last year he was playing for Bristol Rovers at Oxford.
Oh!
And that's how good he is.
Oh, your first touch in a cup final.
just think Chelsea sagging back into that defensive shape is no good. They've got to try and get up against Liverpool and be positive. That's where it started at the start of the first half in extra time. Get after them.
Is the energy really there though to get after them?
They look absolutely dead. Are the legs gone? Are they fit? Not sure. Not sure. They've just allowed Liverpool to control.
Konsa, Clark, McConnell, Konsa. Free kick against Bobby Clark. He was born in Epsom, Surrey, whilst his dad was at Fulham. Fernandes moved on for Palmer, who was caught up and fouled in the eyes of Chris Kavanagh.
Yeah, McConnell's young, but he gives away I think a wise, cynical foul. Obvious booking, but there was a dangerous counter-attack on.
Colwell, Chilwell.
I sometimes think back, particularly with England when we played in extra time periods, and you allowed those games to drift thinking that maybe penalties would be enough, and you end up with a bloody nose at the end of it. Chelsea got a little 2v2 it.
Cole Palmer slipped in for Fernandes, and Mudryk squaring, and Kunku's ahead of him. And here's Madueke. Noni Madueke with a pass that was short of Palmer. Palmer fetched it back. Enzo Fernandez. Mikhailo Mudryk has to settle for a corner.
Yeah, they're so raw, these Chelsea wide players, Madueke and Mudryk. You have no idea what you're going to get from them, so unpredictable.
One moment. Lifted in by Mudryk. Chilwell. The very first League Cup final Liverpool won, actually back in 1981. That went to extra time, and there were very, very late goals. Alan Kennedy put Liverpool in front after 118 minutes, and then Ray Tonka Stewart got a penalty equaliser for West Ham, and it went to a Villa Park replay. Very, very late drama all those years ago. Elliott. Tsimikas. Dans. McConnell. Tsimikas. Forcing Konsa back. Down by Gusto, held by Caicedo. Okay, Chelsea advancing with caution and then losing it. Dans. That's bright from Gusto. And it's still bright from Gusto, and now Madueke joining in. Tsimikas in reverse. Noni Madueke! Down went Kelleher and grabbed it second time.
I mean, even though Chelsea are sitting off Liverpool and letting Liverpool make passes, they've got real pace on the counter-attack, and when they win it, they go really quickly. So they are looking more dangerous than Liverpool. That little defection just takes the pace out of it, makes it far easier for the goalkeeper.
McConnell prepared to drive. Chilwell away from Elliott. Gomez. McConnell. Clark.
Yeah, they're just in the situation, Liverpool, where every time they look up in the midfield area, they just haven't got really any presence in the box, so they have to play that extra pass.
Substitution for Chelsea. Leaving the field, number 21, Ben Chilwell.
Oh, Ben Chilwell will have woken this morning remembering that it may be his task to lift the Carabao Cup before the day is out. He still might, but he's not going to finish the game. He's not going to take a penalty.
No, I thought he would have been a penalty taker. That's the reason I'm slightly surprised. Obviously, that sweet left foot that he's got. Only 8 minutes to go. You have to start thinking about that.
And Trevor Chalobah is the only Chelsea survivor involved today of the last final 2 years ago. Played the last 19 minutes at Manchester City last weekend, having through injury been absent for more than the first half of this season. Gomez flings it in. Came out to Elliott, McConnell, Tsimikas, sharpish. Tsimikas. Clark. Caicedo made the block, Madueke emerged. Did so stylishly. Made it beyond Nkunku and into Kelleher's territory.
That's been on all afternoon, hasn't it, for Chelsea, where they're on that left side. If you get that switch right, from their right to the left, he just never ever delivered that pass across. Once with Gallagher.
The thing is, you look at Chelsea's bench, there's no doubt they've got bigger names on there, they've got more money on there, but they've got such a lack of quality, those players that have come on. And they may deliver something in the odd moment, but they're so erratic.
Endo. Diaz.
Yeah, I think Liverpool have just got to keep passing the ball and hope something opens up. Not allow Chelsea to have those counter-attacks, because they have looked really dangerous in the second period of extra time. Chelsea.
Look, you say that, I think Chelsea no doubt have got a counter-attack goal in them, but they've let Liverpool off the hook. They've let Liverpool play
100%.
For the large majority of this extra time period.
They've allowed the young players to get confident.
Oh, it's lovely crossfield, dealt with well by Clark, lifted in by Tsimikas. There's Elliott! And Danz is crashing in, and Petrovic has hold on the line.
Well, sometimes when you're running at the back post, Harvey Elliott, is he trying to score or is he trying to head it back across goal? I think he's trying to score, and he tries to sneak it into that near post. And it's just the foot of Petrovic, a really good save by the goalkeeper. We've talked about Kelleher a lot, but the Chelsea goalkeeper makes a great save.
The superstars in the stands have to sit down again.
I said about half an hour ago, this ball doesn't want to go in. You can't believe it's 0-0, but at some stage it will go in. Whether it's in the next sort of 5 or 6 minutes or the penalty shootout.
Well, they're good at it then. 21 out of 22 2 years ago went in.
Chalobah's come on at right back. Gusto's gone to left back now.
And here he is. Mudryk. Sharp hit from Palmer. Right down the goalkeeper's throat. Well, his penalty record this season has been wonderful in some pretty tense situations. Tsimikas well advanced. Held up by Chalobah. Out by Dizazi. Came down for McConnell. Tsimikas. McConnell. Clark.
Deflection.
Dug one out. Varanik.
You know what, no matter what happens here for Liverpool, those young players are really enjoying themselves. Do they understand the pressure involved? The cup final, they're making passes and probably not wanting this game to end.
And their footballing godfather, Jurgen Klopp, is clearly doting on them. It's becoming unwatchable. In by Tsimikas, it's in! Virgil van Dijk at the bottom of a pile of red joy! 2 minutes shy of 2 hours! There's your moment! There's your man!
Oh, it's watchable now! There's absolutely no doubt for those Liverpool supporters behind that goal. And we said on the disallowed goal, the game doesn't change. Find that man. And he's been absolutely outstanding at both ends of the pitch. And finally, that ball wants to go in.
And this time, nobody is inclined to drag it away. Defied, denied once, but not again. His first header was after 1 hour. That didn't count in the end. His second hour is after very nearly 2.
Well, you called them Klopp's kids. In extra time, it's been Klopp's kids against the blue billion-pound bottle jobs. Liverpool absolutely sensational. Those young players, incredible. He must be so proud. But for Chelsea, I've got no sympathy whatsoever.
Can Chelsea rescue it? Nkunku! Madueke had a shot there, screaming handball.
It's not handball, that I don't think. I thought he headed it.
Well, this is a massive few minutes for both teams for completely different reasons.
Flung in towards Nkunku, out by Van Dijk. We're going to have 3 additional minutes here. Van Dijk clear, Dan's the chaser. 3 minutes held by the 4th official. Is he pumped or what?
Oh, the passion Jurgen Klopp and those Liverpool fans have been feeling it this whole extra time. Mauricio Pochettino's men have shrunk. They've shrunk right in front of our eyes. And right in front of their own fans.
Jurgen Klopp midweek likened a win against Luton Town to a game against Barcelona. I think if Liverpool hang on here and win this Carabao Cup, he'll be putting this alongside his Champions League trophy.
Well, what was it Pep Lijnders said midweek in his press conference? Every disadvantage has its advantage. And Klopp's Liverpool have turned their misfortune into potential fortune here. But there are 2 minutes to play. Fernandes, Gusto up his now left-hand side, in by Gusto, out by Clark. Anywhere will do for Elliott, but he's better than that. He's found Diaz. Clark was held up. Yellow card.
I cannot believe Chelsea in extra time. What has happened to them? From the very first minute of extra time, they've just not played, they've not turned up. He must be absolutely gutted.
And if Liverpool are to hold on, this game just tells you football isn't all just about money. Getting the right players, creating a connection between players, manager, supporters. Liverpool have that in abundance. Chelsea still haven't found that throughout this season. There's no doubt they have quality.
And right now, Wembley is a suburb of Liverpool. Gomez booked around delaying the restart. Forward by McConnell.
I've said throughout this game, certainly since these young players have come on, even at 0-0, they've been outstanding. And they were really enjoying themselves in the lead up to that corner when Liverpool got the goal.
Well, I agree with what you've just said, Cara. It's Jurgen Klopp's last few months at Liverpool, but this will be as proud a trophy that he'll ever have won with what's out there on the pitch at this moment in time.
And the ribbons are red! It is Liverpool's cup! A first glittering adornment on Jurgen Klopp's grand farewell. On an irresistible tide of emotion, he and they have made it happen. And come what may from here on in, Anfield's beloved German will say goodbye with at least one medal round his neck. The Klopp kids, the Kop kids, have won it.
What a win! Absolutely huge. And Jurgen Klopp wants to go out with a bang. And they've made the best possible start on their assault for 4 trophies. They hung on, but the spirit of the club, the young players, everyone coming together with that support behind the goal. And that man, when we look back at the Jurgen Klopp era, he is right at the forefront. And yes, we'll talk about Klopp's kids, but that was a colossal performance from that man at both ends of the pitch.
Yeah, special managers do special things, and he is one of the best that the Premier League has ever seen. A monster manager who has a middleweight squad, a bantamweight team out there, but punches like a heavyweight, and it's because of him.
Liverpool without compromise. Liverpool when they insist. Liverpool for every taste. Rock and roll, heavy metal, rhythm at the expense of the Blues, whom now they have beaten in 2 of the last 3 League Cup finals. For Chelsea, the dazed, glazed stare of the vanquished, the emptiness of getting here and leaving with nothing. This might have been the decoration on a season of Chelsea churn, but not this time. And so the Carabao Cup is Liverpool's, and in a few moments from now, those partying Reds will become the first club to collect the League Cup for a 10th time. The winners in extra time by a Virgil van Dijk goal to nil.